Test.
Everyone goes up with their group and stays up with their group until the group is done. No more questions. This last one. Everyone. Cantor's going to lead the singing. Okay? And we put cues in here so you can say what page to turn to. Shabbat Shalom. It's so nice to be together, and especially for those of you who came in perhaps from out of town to be with your grandkids, nieces, nephews, cousins. We're especially grateful that you're here. And, of course, our senior team is here as well, because we're all sort of part of this process of raising these kids in partnership with you. And so later on, I'll be inviting our senior staff up to help present these gifts. I was telling the high school graduates last night that Miss Ari, our preschool director, was their threes teacher. She may have even been the threes room teacher for some of you as well. So we've known some of you for a very, very long time. And what's beautiful about today is we don't have much to do as clergy. This is really all put together by our kids. So before we begin, as we did in the office right before, I'd like to ask for everyone here, especially parents and grandparents, to join us in reciting the Shechianu, to thank God for bringing us to this very special moment of our 99th confirmation class for Congregation Beth Israel. So please join me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'echianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, for giving us life, sustaining us in life, and enabling us to reach this very special occasion. All right, group one. Let's do it.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Reagan Grimes. What does it mean to truly pray? Is blessing just a way to further establish an emotional connection with God? The words of Matovu come from the story from the book of Numbers, when the magician Balaam attempts to invoke a terrible curse upon the children of Israel. But he ends up reciting the words of Matovu, and he blesses them. Rabbi Martin Buber thought that people can experience moments of true holiness in relationships with other people. He referred to these transcending moments when we truly encounter another person as I-thou relationships. In these encounters, like when Balaam blesses the children of Israel, they can acknowledge what is already true, that each one of us is a blessing, and that we can relate to one another as a way of recognizing God. When we recite when Balaam recited Matovu at Mountain Peak, he loses his sense of self-consciousness and is in a true I-thou moment with God and the Jewish people, a single moment of no judgment and no hate. So today I ask that when we recite this daily blessing, please reflect upon the moment that Balaam shared with God and our ancestors. In similar moments, each one of us can experience the true essence of another person, and know that we can bless others around us. This is a moment of I-thou, and is what prayer ultimately means. We continue together on page 192.
Right before the cantor begins to lead us, I did forget to welcome everyone to the Bema, not only our confirmands, Jackie Cohen, the president of our board of directors, Jason Bronowitz, the Reynolds family rabbinic intern, of course, Rabbi Mason Barkin, Stacy Rosenthal, the director of our religious school, Rabbi Nicole Byrne, the director of our youth programming. So now I have done that, we can begin with Matovu.
Wonderful. Let's join together. Matovu, Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Matovu, Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Vani berov chastecha, avo veitecha, Eshtachavel heichal kodshecha ve'iratecha. Everyone, Matovu, 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 Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Matovu, Matovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael, Mishkenotecha Yisrael.
In a moment, we will say the Nasim B'chol Yom. This is a prayer about the everyday miracles of life. One of the blessings from this prayer that sticks out to me is the first one, the ability to distinguish day from night. All the other ones are things we can regularly think about, such as being free. And why the ability to do this instead of just having day and night? I think it is symbolic. I believe that it represents a schedule of the world. Personally, when I hear the word day, I think of activity and living life. On the contrary, when I hear night, I envision a quiet period to rest and relax. This prayer is said first thing in the morning, and this one comes first. You may ask, why is it first? Well, it reminds us of how we got here. Part of the world's creation was separating day and night. Days and nights are also symbolic in the Torah, such as the period of time on Noah's Ark. We have all lived through countless days and nights. This simple warm-up prayer is here just to let us know how lucky we are for the lives we have. We now continue on page 198. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan asavivina le'avhin ben yom u'ben laila, who has given the mind the ability to distinguish day from night.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokei ahivrim, who opens the eyes of the blind.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim, who frees the captive.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokef kefufim, who lifts up the fallen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam rokah haaretz al hamayim, who stretches the earth over the waters.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamahin mitzadei gaber, who strengthens our steps.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam malbish arumim, who clothes the naked.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hanoten le'ayaf koach, who gives strength to the weary.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hama'avir shana me'enai u'numa me'afapai, who removes sleep from the eyes, slumber from the eyelids.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani b'tzelem Elohim, who made me in the image of God.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani ben horim, who has made me free.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael, who has made me a Jew.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael b'gvurah, who girds Israel with strength.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam oter Yisrael b'tifarah, who crowns Israel with splendor.
Amen.
We prepare now for the next section of our service, the Shema and its blessings. So the next group is going to come up. All of our confirmation students had the opportunity to look through the prayers in Siddur and find the ones that really spoke to them, the ones that really meant something to them, and to share the way that that means something. So everyone who is in group 2 is going to join us at the podiums and tell us what these prayers mean to them. Then we'll have the opportunity to say them.
The Baruch Hu is a call to prayer that brings together the community to pray. While a lot of the prayers are intended to form an individual bond with God, the Baruch Hu acknowledges that we are together with the people around us. We join together with others in the community with similar beliefs in order to share what we all came to the synagogue to do. This makes coming to temple as an individual a community act and allows people to connect not only to God but to the Jewish community. The simple act of praying together bonds us as a people. This call to prayer is a check-in to make sure everyone is here and ready to go. The Jewish community has always been a prominent part of my life, such as going to camp with most of these people who are also getting confirmed. Getting confirmed is like the home run in the span of my Jewish life. With every type of milestone comes both a different phase in the way I view Judaism and a new phase in the type of person I'm growing to become. Things like going from early years of learning at Sunday school to becoming a madracha and helping other kids, from becoming a bat mitzvah to having my last year as a camper at Camp Stein and having the opportunity to visit Israel this summer with these people around me that I've grown up with. While this is one of my last big Jewish milestones in the near future, I'm excited to continue my Jewish life and remain engaged in the community like the Baruch Hu calls the community to do.
The Yotzer Or is a tribute to the gift of daily renewal, waking up every day. Unfortunately for God, waking up is not always a gift. Very rarely do most of us wake up well-rested, and those of us who do are more than likely late for work or school. Nevertheless, waking up every day gives everyone an equal chance at a better day. As the prayer says, shine a new light upon Zion that we all may swiftly merit its radiance, would suggest that the new day is a day of opportunity and nothing more. It is up to us as humans, as Jews, to use those opportunities and get something good out of the new day. And in another sense, we are also thanking God for allowing us to awaken alive and well. In fact, I think it may affirm the concept that we can sleep away our problems, that by going to sleep, we will wake up in a better condition than before, like a spiritual reset button. And I think that's what this prayer is really about, waking up in a better condition than before. In a sense, by sleeping you press reset. Waking up in the morning truly is a gift, no matter how you see it. We continue on page 226 for the Baruch Hu. Please stand.
Yai lai 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 Yai lai ya lai lai Yai lai 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 Yai lai ya lai lai Yai lai 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 ya lai lai Yai lai 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 lai
Let's be seated and turn to page 228. You guys stay here. You stay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam yotzer or uvorei choshech oseh shalom uvorei et hakol
Ha'meir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha v'rachamim uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai kulam b'chochma asita mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha titbarach Adonai Eloheinu al shavach ma'aseh yadecha ve'al meorei or she'asita yifa'arucha sela or chadash al tzion ta'ir v'nizkeh chulanu mehera le'oro
Baruch atah Adonai Yotzer HaMeorot.
Everybody has a tradition they pass down to others. Sometimes a tradition between friends, and sometimes it's a family tradition that has been passed down for generations. One of my family traditions is to light every menorah we own on Hanukkah. On the last night of Hanukkah, there are so many candles lit we started a new tradition, trying to stop the neighbors from calling the fire department. The Ahava Rabbah is about Jewish faith and the traditions that come from it. It tells how you should study Torah and learn as much as you can about Judaism. Why would you want to learn about Torah and Judaism? Teaching others about Torah and Judaism helps keep Judaism alive. There is no one more important to teach than kids. Kids are the ones that will carry it down through the generations. This is what keeps Judaism alive and what will keep it alive for centuries to come. Keeping Judaism alive is very, very important. Throughout history, many groups of Jews were oppressed and persecuted for their religion. And keeping Judaism alive is what will stop Jews from being persecuted for their beliefs in the future. This is what you can't see while reading the Ahava Rabbah, but this is what I think the deeper meaning is. Please join me on page 230. How deeply you have loved us, Adonai our God.
Louder, nice and loud.
How deeply you have loved us, Adonai our God, gracing us with surpassing compassion. On account of our forebears whose trust led you to teach them the laws of life, to be gracious to us, teaching us as well. O merciful one, have mercy on us by making us able to understand and discern, to heed, learn, and teach, and lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah. Enlighten our eyes with your Torah. Focus our minds on your mitzvot. Unite our hearts in love and reverence for your name. Then we will never feel shame, never deserve rebuke, and never stumble. Having trusted in your great and awesome holiness, we shall celebrate your salvation with joy.
Gather us in peace from the four corners of the earth and lead us upright to our land. For you, O God, work wonders. You chose us. Truly, you drew us near to your great name, that we might acknowledge you, declaring you one in love. Praise be you, Adonai, who chooses your people Israel in love. Baruch atah Adonai, hamocher me'amo Yisrael, be'ahava.
Let's stand for the Shema.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Shem Kevod, Malchuto Leolam, Leolam Va'ed.
When you first skim through the Ve'ahavta, the main point is to love your God with all your heart and all your soul, and take these instructions to heart. Yet the way I came to interpret the chant is, love your heritage, embrace your people, and don't hide who you are. Now, I was born and raised and made into the person I am today by this Jewish community right here, so I can relate with this philosophy in a beyond spiritual way. The Ve'ahavta directly states you must let Judaism serve as a symbol on your forehead. You must always be proud of your heritage when you lie down and when you get up, because that is what it means to be a Jew. But in recent years, there has been an overabundance of hate and anti-Semitism in schools, politics, and all around the globe. This is not only directed towards Jews, but just in the past month, there's been a synagogue shooting, mosque shooting, church bombing, and this past Tuesday, there was a shooting in Colorado, school shooting. And I'll be honest, this makes me and so many others feel it's necessary now to hide our religion and heritage. All cultures, young and old, are being targeted and attacked because of what they believe and how they were born. So now, more than ever, the Ve'ahavta must be seen as a relevant concept rather than a Hebrew chant. It is necessary that all people live by the concept of Ve'ahavta with pride to fight against surges of hate and not let these acts of violence suppress us and others, or else there will be no more us.
We continue with the Ve'ahavta on page 234. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha v'chol nafshecha uvechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi metzavecha ayom al levavecha ושיננתם לפניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
To me and most other like-minded simpletons in the congregation, at first glance, Mi Chamocha seems like most other prayers that you read in that it praises God's holiness, and it is a prayer about God's holiness. However, at a closer read, Mi Chamocha is not just like every other prayer. When you speak the first line of it, who is like you, O God, among the gods that are worshipped, you are repeating what, in the Torah, the Israelites said after they had been miraculously delivered to freedom, their seed had split, making the intended meaning of the prayer clearer and clearer. With this in mind, Mi Chamocha immediately becomes a prayer, thanking God for our freedom to live our lives with unchained hands and an open mind, and not vice versa. This makes the prayer one of the most important of the service, as we thank God for the specific aspect in each of our lives that we couldn't truly live without. Personally, I enjoy spending time with friends above all else. So as we sing Mi Chamocha together, let's thank God for the freedom to do what we want, especially to gather together and pray, especially as we do so in the following prayer. We continue with Mi Chamocha on page 240.
Here we go. Mi Chamocha
turn now to the Amidah, which is our standing prayer. But before we stand, let's wait a moment and hear what some of the parts of the Amidah have meant to our confirmands. And like the confirmation experience, it is both something that they do as a group. It's not an individual program. It's something that they do all together, like the first prayers of the Amidah that we say all together. But each one of them as an individual does explore what their Judaism means to them as a single person who believes what they believe. That doesn't have to be the same as everybody else. So we also will have the opportunity for individual reflection. Let's begin with our confirmands.
Okay. The Vot V'Imahot is the first prayer in the Amidah, the central section of the service. The prayer talks about the mothers and fathers, the matriarchs and patriarchs of the Jewish people, but to me the prayer means so much more than that. Whether or not these people actually lived, they can embody the values that we should look up to. The people they represent are already present in our own lives. Our own parents, grandparents, great-grandparents teach us so much. We would not have been able to become the people we are without the people who have come before us, shaping who we are every day.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Wherever you go, God is everywhere and is in everything. Without God, we would not be able to exist. Throughout our whole lives, we have been taught that God is in all and creates all. In the prayer Giver wrote, it says, "You sustain life through love, giving life to all." I personally think this is the most important quote from the prayer. When we're in times of need, we go to God, whether that is in healing or in need of a companion. We trust that God will provide advice and comfort. This phrase shows how God gives us life, and through life we experience love. From making our first friend, whether that's at school, camp, or even Hebrew school, to when we were little, to having to say goodbye to some of our closest friends as they move away. The thing about God is that God's presence is so strong that we are unable to actually describe it or see it. So we know God is within all and is all. God is an undeniable presence all around. We would not be in this very room if it were not for God.
The Kedoshah is part of the Amidah, and it means holiness. To me, this prayer is powerful in many ways. The prayer conveys strength because it talks about how God is present among the people and is always there to guide them. It says that God is always watching out for you and will always give you power when you need it. I believe in this prayer because it makes us believe that God will bestow wisdom and strength upon us in need of help and guidance. To me, it's a reminder to always have faith. Having faith means to me that you're always trusting God's plan for you, no matter what obstacles get in your way of reaching where you want to be. Things might get tough and not go your way, but you have to keep fighting as hard as you can to help make that goal happen, doing your part to make your dreams come true. You must always have faith because God is developing the path in your life for a reason. Eventually, God will lead you to your goal, your future, your destiny in your life as you continue to have faith. We stand for the Amidah on page 242.
Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Adonai sefatai tiftach ulfi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Let's try it together. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imoteinu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, El Hagadol, Hagibod Vehanocha, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot Veimahot, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע. מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים וחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל. נקדש את שמך בעולם, שכם שמעתי שמתו משמי מחום, כך כתוב על ינביאך, וככה זה לזה, ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוא כל הארץ כבודו. אדיר אדירנו אדוני אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני ממקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו אבינו ומלכנו מושיענו, והוא ישמיענו ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש. ושבחך אלוהינו מפינו לא ימוש לעולם ועד, כי אל מלך גדול, כי אל מלך גדול וקדוש אתה. לדור ודור, לדור ודור, לדור ודור נגיד גדלך, ולנצח נצחים, ולנצח נצחים, קדושתך נקדיש. ברוך אתה אדוני, ברכו ברוך שמו, האל, האל, הקדוש.
Let's be seated.
Do I say it? No. Oh, okay. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
My name is Aidan Brickell, and most of the prayers you have heard about today are long and complex. However, next prayer, Yehu Le'Ratzon, is only 2 lines. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer. The rabbi has asked me for my interpretation of what this prayer is and isn't. And what first came to mind was a green field, and he asked to elaborate on it. And I said it makes me think of purity. I feel like this prayer represents purity because it is us asking God to listen to our prayers in the most pure of moments, when it's just you and God. I also thought of the word silence, and it applies to when you are quietly praying for God to hear your prayer. I asked myself, what is the opposite of this prayer? And the answer I came to was distraction, or a feeling of impurity, as you are not dedicating your full potential to the moment. To be a breaker of silence is to be loud and offsetting. The opposite of Yehu Le'Ratzon is a distraction. As we say this prayer together, may we be in the moment, focused on our purest of prayers.
Let's take a moment for individual reflection, then join together in Yehu Le'Ratzon.
Continue, page 260. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, Adonai, my rock and my redeemer.
We are now at Seder Kriyat Torah, the moment for reading of Torah, and we're going to have lots of our confirmands participating in the Torah service. Some of you may have grabbed a Torah commentary. If not, I think we have a couple more on the shelf, and I know we have a lot more in the conference room from Torah study this morning, so I'll give you the page number so you can follow along in just a couple minutes. We are going to invite for several honors our confirmands at this time. The Torah service, by the way, can be found on page 362. We call for the honor of opening the Aron HaKodesh, Sam and Evan. Our Torah holders, who will be standing over near the ark right now, ready to receive the Sifrei Torah, are Reagan, Avery, and Shana. And then we'll announce the rest of the participants when we get to that part of the service. So Sam and Evan should be near the... Oh, perfect. And everybody else can turn to page 362.
Ein kamocha ba'Elohim Adonai, ve'en kema'asecha מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו ושלום.
Please stand.
אהבה רחמים, היטיב ברצונך את ציון. תבנה חומות ירושלים, תבנה חומות ירושלים, כי בכל לבד פתחנו, מלך אל רם ונישא, אדון עולמים. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד, אחד אלוהינו, גדול אדוננו, גדול שמו, גדול אדוני איתי, ונרוממה שמו יחדיו. לך אדוני הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד, כי כל בשמיים ובארץ, כי כל בשמיים ובארץ, לך אדוני הממלכה והמין עשה לכל ראש. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להר קודשו. כי
have the really great Torah portion today. Apropos our amazing confirmands, Kedoshim, which begins the holiness code. Kadosh means holy. We're going to hear a little bit more about it in just a second. But before our Devar Torah, I just wanted to tee up the rest of the Torah service for today. Our Adele will just in a moment share words of Torah with us. For our confirmation Aliyah, representing the confirmation class, Ethan will be blessing the Torah. And then our readers, Ba'alei Kriya, will be Reagan, Joey, Avery, and Shayna. So we are, and then Ethan will be coming back to lead us in some thoughts and the words of Mishaberach, our healing prayer. So it is so nice to turn it over to our Devar Torah now, Adele.
Shabbat Shalom. What does it mean to be holy? People have many different definitions, whether that's going to temple and praying every week, reading the Torah, having a bat mitzvah, keeping kosher, or talking to God. Through my eyes, being holy is someone who shows kindness towards others, has an open outlook on life, possesses a calm, zen behavior, someone who's peaceful and accepting. This week, Torah teaches us that being holy is respecting the people around you, treating others as if they are all the literal embodiment of God. We are all created in the image of God. Kedoshim teaches us that we have to observe God, but not that we have to pray every week or constantly think about God. It's how we treat others. Torah teaches us to love the stranger, even those who are different than us. There is another message in our Torah portion about the fear of mixing through the examples such as mixing fabric or seed. Clothes embody our identity, and today we embrace mixing of styles and fabrics. To put that into perspective, we mix cultures and races. Thousands of years ago, Jewish tribes were very local and didn't mix all that often. There was the creation of us and them. This was used to create unity among tribes. This isn't bad unless the intention is hate. As Jews, we have seen what the us and them example, when used for hate, has done. Some examples include the Holocaust, the Tree of Life massacre, and slavery. There are two great philosophers, one being Jacques Jean Rousseau, who believed people were born good, and Thomas Hobbes, who believed people were born evil. I agree more with Rousseau's idea in that humans were born leaning towards good, and that's why being kind to someone feels good. By being kind and respectful to others, we practice being holy. Mixing culture and identity is not something to fear, but something to embrace. Nowadays, cultural mixing is inevitable. No one comes from one background. This has led to innovations that have furthered our knowledge and comprehension of the world. It has also made mixing easier. Someone from Australia can meet someone from Russia in a coffee shop. That never happened 1,000 years ago. Maybe because not everyone had coffee. How unfortunate. For me, I come from two different backgrounds. I'm half Jewish and half Colombian. I embrace both and have had the privilege to explore the world and see the results from other places with cultural mixing. This isn't bad. I go to temple almost every week and eat matzah bread. I travel to Colombia annually. Who doesn't like a good arepa? I still consider myself holy, even though I don't follow the Torah's direct teachings. It's up to us as Jews to come up with our own way of following what it means to us to be Jewish. So you may wonder, what does confirmation mean to me or to us? We all come from different background or culture, and yet we embrace it all. We have become friends and confirmed what it's like to be different and to find ourselves. We come together in a place like camp or temple, and we accept and respect each other. This is what makes us holy.
So I know that some of you are using the phones and recording and filming and taking pictures. I just want to remind you that we're live streaming and that live stream high-definition video will be available on our YouTube channel on Monday or Tuesday. So just enjoy the service. You don't need to tape it. You don't need to do the thing with the phones. Just enjoy the service. And then as soon as Colleen gets back from vacation, it'll be posted and you can watch the whole thing. And last year's and the years before that too, and the year before that. I think that's about how long we've had the high def. So iPhones are great pictures and videos, but our cameras, we've got 3 of them, are much better. Okay. Yesher Koach Adel. We are now going to call for the Ba'alei Kriya, for our honor of our reading from those who are honored to read from Torah, Reagan, Joey, Avery, and Shana. And we call for the honor of blessing the Torah, Ethan Leventhal.
Yamod Eitan Yoel ben David Chaim Yamdu Rishon.
If you're following along in your Plout commentaries, we're on the beginning of Kedoshim, page 798.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bachar Banu Mikol Ha'amim Benatan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Notein HaTorah.
Amen.
Amen. Ve'adaber Adonai el Moshe lemor. Daber el kol ha'tah b'nei Yisrael. Ve'amarta Elohechem Kedoshim tiyun ki kadosh ani Adonai Elohechem. Ihi shimo Elohechem tiyun. Ve'et Shabbatotai tishmoru ani Adonai Elohechem.
Amen. Al tifnu et halalim velo hai mesacha lo tasu lahem ani Adonai Elohechem. Vehi tizvahu zevache shlamim la'arnai lirtzonhem tizvache bayom zivchachem yachal umimacharat v'hanotar ad yom hashalishi ba'esh yisareh.
Amen. Ve'im he'acho ye'achel bayom hashalishi pigu hu lo yiratzeh ve'aklav avono yisa ki et kodesh hu Adonai hilel v'nichreta ha'nefesh Hahi me'amecha uvkutrecha et ketzir artsechem lo tekale piad sadcha lekitzir velaket ketzircha lo telaket.
V'charmecha lo telvel, uferet karmecha lo telaket. Lefani karmecha taizom votam. Ani Adonai Elohechem lo tignovu. Velo hechachashu velo teshakeru ish behimato. Velo tishbachu bishmim leshaker vechelata et shem Elohecha ani Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai notein haTorah.
Amen. Good job.
Misha Beirach is commonly known as the prayer for healing. We pray in the Misha Beirach for the renewal of body of a friend or family member who is physically unwell. However, this is not the only meaning of the Misha Beirach. We also ask in the prayer for the renewal of spirit, because sometimes someone's spirit needs healing, not their body. The Misha Beirach can help the spirit of someone feeling sad, angry, or unmotivated. We say, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing so that someone struggling to find happiness can get the courage to keep searching. I don't think the Misha Beirach can actually heal someone, but it certainly provides hope and reassurance to the people who pray. It also reminds the sick person that people care about them, which can definitely provide a confidence boost. It can help the depressed find joy, the angry find relief, and the discouraged find hope, so that they can get back on their feet and continue to live a happy life. I believe the Misha Beirach is not only directed toward helping people who are sick, it can also heal the spirits of those who lack the courage they need to make their lives a blessing. The Misha Beirach can be found on page 371.
Before we begin, if anyone would like to say out loud the name of a loved one you'd like us to take into our hearts with our own, keeping in mind the spirit of Ethan's beautiful words, let's pray for all of them. Please say their name at this time if you wish.
We join together. Mishe Beirach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Beirach Imotenu. Misha Beirach Imotenu. Mekor HaBracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Just quickly, a prayer for our Torah blesser and Torah readers. May the one who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless Ethan, and Reagan, and Joey, and Avery, and Shayna, who have all come up to Torah in honor of God and Torah. May they all merit from the Holy One a blessing, protection, rescue from trouble or any distress, and from any illness, minor or serious. May God send blessing and success to their every endeavor. And together with all Israel, let us say, Amen. We'll take a moment now to lift and redress the Torah before our Haftarah. It is a pleasure to call for the honor of Hagbah, lifting the Torah, Aiden, and our dressers will be Matthew and Jesse. Everyone please stand as the Torah is lifted to be redressed.
I've only done this twice.
Vezot HaTorah asher samoshe lifnei bnei Israel al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Torah Torah, 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 Ziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Ziva lanu Moshe. 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 Torah, 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 Ziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Ziva lanu Moshe. 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 You may be seated.
So our Haftorah for this Shabbat for Parshat Kedoshim can be found if you're following along in your Plow commentaries on page 814. The words of the prophet Amos, picking up on many of the themes from the Parsha. And we're going to have our blessings and Haftorah now. It's a pleasure to call Jacob and Ryan for the Haftarah blessings, and Zoe will be chanting the Haftarah itself. I don't have the Haftarah sheet in here. Oh, you've got it. Okay. Here are the blessings, guys. Hang on one sec.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar binvim tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hanemarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'torah uv'Moshe avdo uv'Yisrael amo uv'inviei ha'emet v'tzedek.
Halo kivnei kushim atem li b'nei Yisrael ne'um Adonai. Halo et Yisrael ha'eleti me'eretz Mitzrayim uflishtim mikavtor v'emram mikir. Hinei, Einei, Adonai Elohi, Bamlacha ha'ata, V'hishmati ata, Me'al penei ha'adama, Efes ki lo hashmed ashmid, Et Beit Yaakov, Na'um Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Sor kol ha'amim, Sadik bel hadarot, Ha'el ha'ne'emah, Ha'omer ve'oseh, Hamdaver kayem, Shekol devarav emet v'tzedek. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al hanvim ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu likdusha v'linu ha lekavod ol tifaret al hakol Adonai Eloheinu anaknu modim la varhim otah yitbarak shimha b'fi kol hai tamid le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai
Shalom.
Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen. Shekoach.
So let's take a moment now to return the Torah to the Aron HaKodesh. It's a pleasure to have Tricia and Ryan help with holding the Torah. Ryan will actually stand opening the ark. Tricia's going to help with putting the Torah back into the ark. And everybody else can please turn to page 374 in your Sidurim.
יהללו את שם
Please
אדוני, כי נשגב שמו לבדו, אותו על ארץ ושמים, וירם קרן לימו, תהילה לכל חסידיו, לבני ישראל עם קרובו, הללויה, hallelujah.
Behold, a good doctrine has been given unto you. My Torah, do not forsake it. It is a tree of life to those who hold it fast, and all who cling to it find happiness. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace.
עץ חיים היא למחזיקים בה ותומכי המאושר דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיך שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה חדש חדש ימינו חדש ימינו כקדם.
Please be seated. So a reminder as we get through this next part, which is presentations and acknowledgement of our wonderful confirmands, that we do not applaud at any particular point, although our hearts are filled with it. We do this. Why don't we applaud? Because we never, applaud at a service. It's sort of a holy moment. We're doing this for God, so we don't clap. It's a Jewish thing. But we do this, which is our way of showing warmth. So if you feel, so obliged, please feel free. We have several people who are going to share some remarks, and it's going to be in the following order. And then, bless you. Then we're going to be able to conclude in a few moments with Aleinu and Kaddish. So it's always a pleasure to call to this bima our president of the board of directors, Jackie Cohen, the mother of 2 former confirmands and B'nai Mitzvah at Congregation Beth Israel. And this is Jackie's swan song presentation as president to our confirmation class. But I know that over these last years, she has raised children within this community whom we all can be proud of. And now she's going to talk about your children as well.
Thank you, Rabbi.
And happy birthday, too.
Thank you. Always a good time of year. So I have been actively coming to this service for about 8 or 9 years since my son was confirmed. And it amazes me every year that I come, the level of maturity and poise and intellect your children have. And every year it seems like the class just grows stronger and stronger and stronger. And I love this service because I love learning from all of you. I love seeing the leadership that our future will have and your commitment to Judaism and your commitment to making this happen. So I just want to say on behalf of the board of directors, a hearty mazel tov to all of you, and all of the parents that have also made the commitment to make sure they got their children to where they needed to be. They missed dinner, they
they were able to shuffle their personal schedule around because Judaism and community and family are all rolled up into one. So I just want to say mazel tov.
And now it's a great pleasure to welcome to the Bima the director of our religious school, Stacy Rosenthal, who has, as I said to the kids in the office before, who came into my life 16 years ago, just as they were coming into your lives. And so Stacy is not just the director of our religious school, but really has led and taught and been with all of these kids throughout their religious school experience, religious school retreats at camp, madrichim and madrichot programming, and all of the other good stuff that has brought you to this occasion. So Stacy's going to come up and share a few words, and then we will, when she's done speaking, we're going to invite up to the Bima members of our senior staff who will help facilitate the presentation of your certificates and your gifts. Stacy.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
First of all, Mazel Tov to our entire confirmation class. It has been an absolute pleasure to learn with and from you, and it is my greatest hope that that will continue and that you will continue on with Mayan, and that we'll get to honor you again in 2 more short years like we did our graduates last night. So I'd like to also invite up Ari Moffat, our Channon Preschool Director, and Leah Zigmund, our Camp Stein Director, and Rabbi Nicole Byrne to help hand out our gifts to our confirmands. So the Tefillah Haderek is also known as the Traveler's Prayer, and it's said at the onset of a journey. It's customary to recite it when one embarks on a journey, regardless of the mode of transportation. The prayer asks God to deliver the travelers safely, to protect them from any dangers or perils that they may encounter along the way, and to return them in peace. Traditionally, this prayer is recited after the onset of the journey. Our confirmands are starting out on their journey to become Jewish adults, and many of them began driving this year as well. We are giving them each a car mezuzah, but instead of the traditional prayer, we have switched out the cloth or the scroll with blessings from our parents to their teens. As many of our confirmands are going on our Camp Stein Big Trip Israel this year, we are also giving a book which is about falling in love with Israel in a short amount of time, and it addresses the complexities of Israel at the same time sort of incorporating the love of Israel. And I'm excited to be traveling with you as a flight chaperone to Israel. We're going to have a lot of fun. And this book is, what I love best is that it is a graphic novel. So it is, I encourage you to take a look at your teen's book. It also is inscribed with a personal note from your teachers, from Rabbi Mason Barkin and from Rabbi Kahn. So everything else is in graphic form, you know, the pictures, but that is actual words. So make sure you read those. And then, of course, we have the confirmation certificate, which is signed by your rabbis, cantor, and myself. So at this time, when I call your names, we're going to have our education team help to pass out your gifts. Reagan Grimes. Jacob Ziff. Oh, and wait, we also need Erev Rabbi Jason Bronowitz to come, our rabbinic intern. Our Carol and Dan Reynolds rabbinic intern. Please come help them. Jacob Ziff, Shana Glavinsky, Matthew Goodman. Sam Schimmel. Joey Varco. Jesse Lieberson. Zoe Allen. Avery Schultz. Evan Horowitz. Aiden Perkel. Adele Morales. Ethan Leventhal. Brian Feinberg. And Tricia Willett Hardy. Ms. Alto.
So this is the, thank you guys very much, Yasher Koach. This is the time when I get to share a few words with our confirmands and look at them. So please, I don't mean to be rude. It's just tradition. I'll be right with you. Thank you. So I was thinking as we were preparing on Thursday night about what words, ideas to share with you. And I know this is the time when I speak a few words to you before we bless you in front of the ark and everyone's reading their inscriptions and playing with their new cool car mezuzahs. And so I promise you, we wrote really sweet things to you, me and Rabbi Mason Barkin, because we love you. So you can take your stuff and just put it under your seat for a second so you're not distracted. It's sort of like at the board meetings when the rabbi report, the clergy report, the board members are looking at the budget, and they think that we don't notice that they're looking at the budget when we're doing the rabbi report, but we do. So please feel free to put these, see, you're not even listening to that part, to put your whole pack under your seat. It'll be there when you're done. Thank you. It's sort of like at the beginning of class when I collect cell phones. It takes a few seconds to part from these new toys that we have. Yes? So I wanted to say just a couple of things to you. Of course, Mazel Tov. Of course, we're proud of you. Of course, you did a great job, and so on and so forth. But you are all our heroes. You are to us, and to me in particular, courageous for two very important reasons. Number one is because in a time when it's very easy to forget about Judaism once you become bar or bat mitzvah, you all made a conscious decision with your parents and with your friends to understand that a bar mitzvah or a bat mitzvah is almost the antithesis of a destination. And it's ironic because for a lot of Jewish young adults, the bar mitzvah, the bat mitzvah is the destination. And then about 10, 15 years later, 15, 20 years later, they come into our offices to get counseling before a wedding. And they literally say, the last time I was in shul was at my bar bat mitzvah. Maybe some high holidays. And often, they're in our offices with their beautiful, loving spouse-to-be who may not be Jewish. And the non-Jewish part of the couplehood often thinks, how is that? How is it that the last time that you stood in a synagogue was at your bar mitzvah when you were 13? And I often joke, yeah, the last time they studied Judaism, they were 13, meaning they didn't like what they were studying, They didn't understand what they were studying. They kind of fought their parents tooth and nail, and the picture in time that they have of Judaism is from a kind of weird place in their lives when they're 13. So you're our heroes because you stayed with it. And that's not about me or Stacy or Rabbi Byrne or any of the clergy up to here. This is about the commitment that you and your parents have made to know that there's a lot more to Judaism. Some of you talked about Rabbi Buber. Some of you talked about concepts that we discussed this year. I promise you, none of the 13-year-olds learn that. And if they do, it's maybe in passing. They don't get into Jewish spirituality or Jewish philosophy or the ideas that you studied with Rabbi Mason Barkin from the other stories of the Bible that we didn't teach you up until now. They didn't get that, and you got that. And you get it next year in Mayan. And we had 12 high school graduates here last night. And you can study it in college. Being Jewish, studying Judaism is an everyday endeavor. So when you're in Israel this summer, I want you to acknowledge that you are there as educated Jewish adults, that you are there representing Congregation Beth Israel and the 98 confirmands that came before you, and that you are there with at least a contextualization, an idea of what it means to be a Jew and why Israel and Zionism and the state of Israel and the land of Israel are so important to us. But I want to tell you something else, because I was referring to the couples who sit in our offices for weddings. Do you know that the number one most admired religion of the non-affiliated Jewish, non-Jewish world is Judaism? That is to say, non-Jews of all the religions admire Jews more in North America. This was part of that Pew study that they did a couple years ago, which is to say that non-Jewish people love us, see us as great people, smart people, family-oriented people, people who care about community and who care about the earth. What it means to be Jewish in a non-Jewish world, therefore, is twofold, and it all goes back to what Adele was teaching us about holiness and what it means to be holy, and to what all of you said in one way or another. To be Jewish is not any longer to be an outsider in our home in America. We're the luckiest Jews to ever live. But in light of recent events, it seems ironic to say that people love us when there are still people who hate us. You know, anti-Semitism is, here's the problem. There's many problems, but anti-Semitism is like a virus. It's a virus that the world suffers from, but the only ones who die from it are Jews. Anti-Semitism is irrational. There's no rationale for it. It's based on conspiracy theories and really untruthful lies that are made up by people. And anti-Semitism is really something that the Jewish community struggles with because a lot of us, your parents, my generation, don't really understand its roots going back to 2,000 years ago. At the core of the battle that we're seeing right now with anti-Semitism in the United States, at the core is educated, smart, learned Jews. The antithesis and the antidote is Jewish learning. Knowing what it means to be a Jew. And knowing that to be a Jew means that we don't apologize for who we are, that we don't enter into irrational conversations with people about not just the validity of our beliefs, but of who we are fundamentally as human beings. It means to see the world through Jewish eyes, which just means to act like mensches, to be holy. And it means something that I think all of you learned this year very much. It means to be part of a community, to know that you're not alone. Anti-Semitism has happened for 2,000 years. It's happening now. It's going to happen in the future. For those of you going to Israel, I want you to recognize how safe it feels to be when you're with Jason in the Jewish state, to be a Jew among Jews, and then take that back with you and never apologize, never hide. Be proud of who you are and what you are, because I know your parents and me and all of the clergy are so proud of you. And most fundamentally, keep learning. The antidote is in holiness. The antidote to hate is love, as it says in your parsha this week, V'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, that you should love your neighbor as yourself. That means you have to love yourself and know how awesome you are. And finally, I've known a lot of you since you were babies. We played guitar together in Shabbat club, some of us, or went on family retreats literally when you were babies. We met at your brisses and your baby namings to see you become these tall, strong, beautiful, brilliant human beings makes all of us kvel, no one more than your parents and your grandparents. And you represent the best of what Congregation Beth Israel is. We are a light to the nations. We are proud of who we are. We're educated in what we are. And we have faith that tomorrow and the next week and the week after that is always going to be better because of us. Continue to be a blessing to each other, to yourselves, to your families, and know that the people of Israel stand with you today for this courageous, heroic commitment that you made to do something different than what a lot of people your age do. I promise you, 10 years from now, 15 years from now, 20 years from now, when we're having those conversations in our offices about your weddings, and since I've been here 16 years, they're just starting to happen for me, which is kind of cool, that it will make life so much easier for you to know who you are and what you are when you're thinking about creating a family because of this commitment that you made. So it is my pleasure, on behalf of all of your teachers, to join with all of you, with Cantor Edinger, Rabbi Mason Barkin, and Rabbi Byrne, to bless you in front of the Aron HaKodesh, in front of your families as witness, and then to ask for God's blessings upon you with the priestly blessing. So I'd like you all to please stand. I'd like the congregation to please stand as we open up the Aron HaKodesh. Are we sharing the mic? Guys, come close. Remember, we practice this part. Oh, wait, okay, guys. I love you. I'm proud. I have to say.
One more thing to say before I say something. I know, ad-libbing. A few months ago, many of us traveled to Washington together. And those voices that you have been cultivating here at CBI, learning what's important, learning what it means to be a Jewish person in the world, you use your voices in a very powerful way. Hold on to that, remember that, and continue to worship. We look to you now, our confirmands, to take your place as guardians of this sacred heritage, to carry forth God's light and truth into the world. Thus can you help our people to answer the prophetic call to be a light unto the nations, and to inspire your peers, your family, and everyone you meet to engage in the task of tikkun olam, working in partnership with God for the betterment of our world. And together we say,
Amen. Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May the source of light and life bless you and keep you safe.
Yair Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
may God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you.
Yis Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom.
May God's face always shine upon yours and grant you peace all the days of your life. Amen.
Amen. Siman tov und mazel tov und mazel tov siman tov und mazel tov siman tov und mazel tov siman tov Kehilah siman tov und mazel tov siman tov und mazel tov siman tov und mazel tov siman tov Yehelanu.
Please be seated. Before we move on with the conclusion of our Shabbat service, I just want to give a couple quick shout-outs, especially to all the members of our senior staff, our support staff who are here. I want to give a special recognition to Kathy Brewer and Colleen, who have worked closely with many of our parents who will be providing for us a beautiful, beautiful Kiddush luncheon. I want to give a special shout-out to Helene Miracle for, I think, starting last June, right as soon as she was done with last year's confirmation, called to start planning this year's confirmation, knowing that her rabbi is like, huh? It's like a year from now. But Helene was right. We needed to start planning then. And so for the second year in a row, Helene and her associate, Kathy Sudhalter, started putting this entire thing together, coming off a very successful Passover Seder for our women's Seder. And so, Helene, thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the amount of just joy and sweat and tears that you put into this and your commitment to making it perfect. It will be perfect. I know it will. And thank you. And to Kathy Brewer and Sudhalter, to Melissa Schimmel and Heather Glavinsky, Onita Perkel, Robin Schultz, Sylvia Lieberson. Did I forget anyone on that planning committee? Please tell me if I did. I said, Onita? Who else was there the other night that I missed? Did I get everyone? And some of the little kids who were there, little Schultzes and others who were there helping out. But under Helene's leadership, you guys are in for a wonderful lunch and lots of sweets. So you deserve sweets and lunch. And I want to, again, thank Jackie Cohen for being on the bima, and, of course, Jackie Huber, Eric Rendelman, former confirmand himself from CBI. And I want to make sure you all take care of Jason in Israel this summer. Jason's only led the big trip 17 times, so, you know, he always needs a little help with that. And Cantor, thank you so much for helping. I know you've done confirmation before, but for training the kids. And Rabbi Mason Barkin, I know how special the relationship really bonded up in Lataken in D.C. And I'm so glad. And Stacy, our partner in crime, and Rabbi Byrne for bringing everything that you've brought. It's really been a group effort. So we are now going to conclude our service with Aleinu and with Kaddish. Before we stand for Aleinu, though, we're going to hear our last Aharon Haviv, last and most beloved, our Iyunim for Aleinu, and then for Kaddish. So I'd like to call Ryan up before we stand for Aleinu to help put the Aleinu into context.
The Aleinu is one of the oldest prayers in our service today and was recited just before Kaddish. When I think of the words of Aleinu, I think about how the Jewish people are unique and one of a kind. The prayer talks about how we all have a unique destiny set aside for all of us, and we have our own special paths put forth by God. The prayer also thanks and acknowledges God's work and God's part in shaping our destinies. The final lines of the prayer talk about how a perfect world will be upon us soon with the help of God. Another aspect of the Aleinu deals with how people should not value material possessions such as new clothes or a fancy car. Instead, we should value experiences and the connections we make with others and God. Getting fancy items should not be the important thing we gain in life. Sometimes the best things in life are right in front of you, and if you're blinded by the objects, we cannot truly see what is important. I believe that by putting less important on fancy items, we can develop a better connection with those around us and God. Please stand for Aleinu on page 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וכוחלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
When people say the mourner's Kaddish, they usually turn their thoughts to the loved ones who have passed and are mourning their deaths. But this prayer never says anything about death. The words themselves are a prayer of praise for God. The mourner's Kaddish is traditionally said at the end of a service with the thoughts of harmony and peace. So why do we say this prayer in mourning? Perhaps because this prayer is of peace. It might be hard to think about, but death is a natural part of life. People tend to worry about death and wonder about those who have passed, asking questions like, is there an afterlife? What happens when you die? We are all so scared of dying. When we say the Kaddish, we are surrounded by loved ones. This prayer reminds us to celebrate life and the love that everybody receives during their life. This is said to celebrate peace, love, and all the beautiful things that happen during somebody's life. I hope as we say Kaddish together, everybody can find some peace.
On this Shabbat, we share our deepest sympathies as we note the passing of the following people who were recently laid to their eternal rest and whose families are in the 7 or 30-day mourning period. Marianne Anson, Lois Channon, Jacqueline Feinstein, Stuart Crystal. On the Shabbat, we also remember those of our congregational family whose yahrzeits occurred this week. Their names have been lovingly listed on our Shabbat flyer. The name Dolores Perlman has been requested to be read aloud. But if anyone else would like to say the name of a loved one on this Shabbat for whom you are observing yahrzeit or who died in this season or in seasons past, please say their name at this time. May all of their souls be bound up in the bonds of eternal life as we join together as a community for Mourner's Cottage, page 598.
Zman Kari Vimru Amen. Yehi Shnei Vava Mevarach Le'alam U'Lamer Maya. Yiparach V'Yishtabach V'Yitpa'ar V'Yitramam V'Yinaseh V'Yithadar V'Yithaleh V'Yithalal Shmei D'Kudsha B'Rechu. Leila Min Kol Birchata V'Shirata Tushbechata V'Nechemata Ta'amir Ran Be'ama V'Yimru Amen. Yehi Shlam Rabba Min Shemaya. V'Chaim Aleinu V'Chokol Yisrael V'Yimru Amen. Oseh Shalom Yirma U'Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Chokol Yisrael V'Yimru
Amen. The source of peace and peace to all who mourn, and comfort to those of us who are grieving, as together we say, Amen.
Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. All right, here we go. You all know this. I know you do. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Salam aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam shalom. Everybody now. Od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu, od yavo shalom aleinu ve'al kulam.
Please join us in the rotunda for Kiddush and Hamotzi. Mazel Tov. Shabbat Shalom.